Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. We are here today to talk about love and marriage, Huntsville. Like my guy JB said, let's get back on the train. So I'm back on it, and I will be doing DC as well. So let's get started. So basically, they started off exactly where they left off, which is at the Galentine's Day, with the girls fighting. The girls are fighting. The girls are fighting. So yeah, I figure I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion because you guys, I feel like Destiny didn't do a whole heck of a lot of stuff wrong. I'm sorry, I just don't think she did a whole lot wrong. Even her mocking Stormy, girl, why do you talk like that? I'm sorry, you talking about your accent. And yes, I know she is very successful or whatever, but you gotta work on that accent. And then we gonna talk about it later. But she did do her little code switch in her confessional. Why are you running around talking about some, oh yeah, you don't know me, and all? Like, girl, fix yourself up. Like, if you are a businesswoman, come on, get it together. You gotta know how to code switch. It's not cute. So I wasn't mad at Destiny for even saying something to her, because Stormy should not have inserted herself in that whole conversation. Like, listen, Melody is your friend. So if you want to know what's happening and why she considered Tisha the ops or whatever, then you ask her. And yeah, I just don't think Destiny did anything wrong at all. So Stormy calls her a bitch, and she gets all, and I say that because it's Sunday, so I try not to really curse on Sunday, but I'm not gonna really have a choice right now. But yeah, she calls her the B word, and they get so offended by that. And y'all know that's the first thing that comes out when women fight or whatever. So why are you so upset about that? She's kicking off shoes or whatever. Destiny is really pissed off. I get it, but not so much over the word. Like, girl, who cares? So Melody is telling what's her name, Stormy, to calm down. You guys don't even really have beef like that. Okay, fine. Then she goes in the back and she's trying to talk to Destiny and tell her the same thing. And to me, you guys, I feel like Melody put her executive producer hat on. Like, okay, we got to get the scene done. Y'all got to calm down. We know she don't really fool with Destiny like that, but in this instance, it's like, listen, you got to suck it up and come back out here. Calm down. Y'all don't have beef like that. It has nothing to do with her really wanting to be friends with Destiny again, or take care of Destiny, or really help Destiny feel better. No, I feel like, sorry, she's like, let's get the scene done. So, okay, fine. But Destiny's saying she's being very aggressive with me, and Melody and Kimmy is like, no, you were being aggressive too. I don't see it, you guys. I'm sorry. I just don't see where Destiny came off really aggressive first. This girl came off very aggressive to her first. Then, yes, she picked up on the energy, she gave it back to her. But no, and when Kimmy said to Destiny, "You're being aggressive with me," I didn't think she was being aggressive to Kimmy. Like, she said something. I just think if you know her, Destiny has an aggressive type voice. And some people are just like that. And when you get to know them, you understand. And I'm sorry, you can't be like, oh, well, you can't be like that if it's not right. No, you can adjust to the way your friends are sometimes. It's not going to kill you to know that she speaks aggressively sometimes. And I just don't think she was aggressive to Kimmy. And again, I don't think she was aggressive to Mel. I know when Melody said her used to be friend or something like that, like they were past tense, then Destiny got upset and repeated it. She's like, oh, okay, used to be. And everybody's like, don't interrupt her. Y'all know what she was doing. She was just reiterating the fact that, okay, you just said that we are not friends anymore, basically, in what you're saying. Like, so for them to fly off the handle and do all that, it was all too much. And again, I don't feel like Destiny did anything wrong. But she eventually sucks it up and goes back in there. She says that Kimmy is the perfect person to calm her down, because Kimmy was like, listen, I probably would have threw a table too. So it's all good. And yeah, so she goes back in there, and that's good. All right, so then we have Tiffany at the table with Stormy, and she's like, Stormy, think of your kid. And she's like, oh, he cute, ain't he? And she's like, yeah, think of your kid and calm down. Stormy is not, she's not the, listen, she's not it. Sorry. I mean, nice try, but we're going to have to pass on her. And Tiffany. Tiffany is sitting there kind of egging her on or whatever, like, yeah, the chair was a bit much. Tiffany, shut up. And then when Melody come back out and she's telling her again, you guys don't even have beef like that. Tiffany's like, yeah, but she was mocking her and everything. Tiffany, shut your face. Shut your face. And I mostly want Tiffany to shut up because she's not gonna say any of all of this stuff in nobody's face. Like, say that when Destiny comes back into the room. Or maybe she does. I don't know. I can't remember. But then we have Stormy in the confessional and she's code switching. She's like, I just don't understand why she is being so mean to me and mocking me. And she has an accent because she told Tisha she has an accent. I mean, I have an accent. You have an accent. You would be upset if somebody was mocking your accent. And Tisha's like, yeah, I must have missed that. Yeah, yeah, whatever. And it would have been easy to miss. Like, Destiny slid it in there a little slick. She was slick with it. But yeah, I'm sorry. If you can code switch in your confessional, then you need, like, it just sounds very, very, I don't like it, y'all. Even though I do know that they have accents like that or whatever, but it just sounds so ghetto fab. It does, that they should really work on that. Okay, I'm gonna walk that back a little bit because it sounds a little rude. Like, okay, if you were born in Atlanta, you have this really deep accent or whatever. Work on it because it don't sound good. I'm not saying that. Well, I'm kind of saying that, but my thing is, she definitely, this whole confessional, she was just like, listen, I think, she didn't have to talk to me in that way and we can have a conversation and you don't have to be childish. Like, she's able to do the code switching. I feel like we kind of all are. But for her to be on TV and you choose to speak like that, like, no, you need to bring your best at all times. Like, what the way she was sounding at that table, now y'all know, that was not giving professional. It was not giving business owner. It was not. I'm sorry. So before Destiny and Kimmy comes back out, they're basically walking out when Tisha and Melody's having the conversation, and Tisha's like, "Listen, Mel called me a B, and it's not a big deal or whatever." They're like, "Y'all stood up on each other and everything." She's like, "And I still don't even understand what she's mad about." So Melody's like, "Okay, what I'm mad about is because at the reunion you said I'm not a good friend." She's like, "No, no, no. Carlos asked me and he kind of didn't. Like, she did this whole rolling of the eye thing. And I'm not going to lie, when that happened at the reunion, I was taken aback as well because I thought that they were in a better place. And then I was like, okay, well, the reunion is a little bit down the line, so maybe they had a falling out. But if they didn't have a falling out and you just making faces and saying that, no, she's making excuses or whatever, why are you doing that if you guys are working on your relationship? Like, yeah. Okay, and I must admit I have not been really feeling Mel this last season and this season so far. She's given me, I don't know, I'm just not feeling her. But in this instance, I'm okay with what she said. She's explaining exactly what happened, and she's saying, you saying that we were talking about you, and basically we talked about you for a couple minutes, and we only do that because your name keep coming up in the blogs. Same way you guys talked about us 3 seasons straight because we were in the blogs all the time. Then Tisha takes it to a different level. And it's funny because when they showed the previews, I was just like, oh my God, what is Melody saying to her? But then when we hear what Tisha says to her first, yeah, it was warranted. So Tisha's explaining how, we talked about you because y'all talked about it basically. She said before, it came out, season 1 or whatever, you called and was like, don't really talk about the infidelity. We were not going to talk about it. Then y'all talked about it and she's like, and basically, we knew that, he was cheating on you. And she's like, oh, you knew? Hell yeah, you the one that told me. And then she says, you knew he was cheating for 3 years and you didn't care. And I'm just like, oh God, even though that may, oh, and then she says, and you still had another baby with him. And that was too far. It was too far because you don't bring up nobody's kid like that. Like, even though we were all thinking it when she got pregnant at the time, we were all like, girl, y'all not in a great space. But they were still married at the time. Maybe they were working on it. I don't know. It's none of our business. So for her to bring that up, then yeah, Mel yelled out, listen, you are still getting cheated on every day and you don't care. So again, when we saw the previews, we only saw that part and it came off like Melody was being very harsh. But no, she went way too far. So Mel ends up standing up, getting done. She's done with Tisha. She's like, listen, forget you, Tisha. Kiss my ass. And I was like, yeah, she deserved that one. Okay, but also too, you guys, flip side, Tisha was saying how they, was only talking about, or it only came to the blogs or whatever because they were doing lives trying to defend themselves against what Melody and Martell said about their marriage, which is true. Now, we cannot take away from the fact that, yes, even though it was Martell that came out like, oh, yeah, he's cheating with 20 people or whatever. Yeah, it was Martell that said it initially, but Melody was co-signing. So yeah, y'all were bringing stuff to the table as well and to the forefront. And yeah, it's probably true. Like, it's probably true that we know about the picture in Atlanta and them bringing all their women or whatever. And from what I know from guys, I know that really does happen where they have actual guy trips where they bring the side pieces. So it's a real thing. So yeah, they probably all cheated at some point. So that is why Marceau don't want to really talk about anything dealing with Martell, because he don't want his shit to come out. And yeah, I don't know if Tisha is really, really aware and just overlooking it or not, or, because Melody's like, listen, you don't believe nothing nobody tell you anyway about him. And I don't know if that's true or if, again, she's just trying to overlook it. So as Melody's getting up saying, come on, Stormy, let's go. Tisha's calling her an actress because Melody's telling her to pull up YouTube for receipts or whatever. She's like, I'm not pulling up YouTube. But yeah, she's clapping, talking about actress, actress. And Melody's like, your mama's a effing actress. And yeah, that's funny because her mama is an actress. Sorry, Tisha, but your mama is an actress. She do too much. She overacts, but she is an actress. Y'all, and wrapping up the scene, yeah, I'm happy that Tisha stood up for herself. Like, this is the first time she has really, really gone head to head for real with Melody, and I'm happy that she did it. Even though she went too far, she did. She went a little bit too far. It's like, come back, Tisha. But I'm glad she stood up for herself. All right, so the next morning, Maurice makes Kimmy breakfast in bed, which was very sweet of him. And she's telling him what happened. And first of all, she had to explain what a Galentine's Day is. And he's like, yeah, because I had no idea. So she's telling about the fights and everything or whatever. And then she said she got to get her son's housewarming together. And she's like, listen, I didn't already invited all of them. And he's like, well, did you tell Marty? And she's like, no, I didn't tell Marty. And he's like, well, I'm thinking that if Mel doesn't come, then Marty can come. And she's just kind of looking at him. And then he's like, listen, if Mel's not there, then there won't be any back and forth. And she's like, is that what you think? Kind of like, you think Mel is the problem? And he pretty much said, yeah. I mean, he didn't say that she's the problem. He just said, listen, Mel is into it with Destiny. Mel is into it with Martell. Mel is into it with Tisha. And Stormy's into it with other people on behalf of Mel. So yeah, Mel is the common denominator here. And it's so interesting how it went from last season, Martell was the bad guy, to now Mel is the bad person. But she is showing her ass a little bit, y'all. Like what's her name? Melody has been doing a bit much. And I don't know. But yeah, I just don't think Kimmy wants Martell to come. So Maurice is like, well, I'm gonna call him right now. So before he calls, he just comes out and asks her, listen, if Melody doesn't come, then can Martell come? She's like, I'm gonna pray on it. What? I thought y'all was good. She's like, listen, Martell is attached to BS. And he's like, well, it's all revolving around Mel. And she's like, no, no. And so, yeah, I know what she's meaning. She's meaning all of this stuff with the girl and the fact that, once again, Martell was the one who brought up this whole thing with her and the ex, and I'm not the ex, but her and him getting together before they were married, and she was the other woman and all that. Some of this stuff, y'all, they just can't get past. And yeah, it was just kind of shitty. Like, Martell does things and then he wants you to just forget about it right after. Like, that was foul for him to say. It was foul for him to throw Marceau under the bus. It was foul for him to, kind of put Kimmy out there, and she's just not over it. So he's calling Martell so that they can talk. So Maurice FaceTimes Martell, and he's like, he's on his way to a meeting or whatever, and he's telling them that they're having this party, and if Melody doesn't come, then we want to invite you. Oh, he's saying something about we need to clear some things up. Martell is like, listen, I'm not involved in anything, so there's nothing to clear up with me. Like, he got a big smile on his face, and I think it's because he hasn't really been filming with a whole lot of people. Like, he hasn't really been in the middle of drama. Martell is really changing his what do I want to say? His attitude and his outlook and the way he's looking this season. So he's like, yeah, if Melody doesn't come, and then Martell's like, hold on, why do I get the second? He didn't say invite. He said, what did he say? Introduction or something, he said. And I'm like, no, you mean invite. So he's like, Kimmy, why would she get the invite before I do? And I thought it was just kind of inappropriate that Kimmy's boobies were all out while they're FaceTiming, and she's all bent over talking to him about the issues. And I'm like, girl, close your shirt up. Yo, Kimmy tells him that where he goes, BS follows or whatever. And I think she's actually talking about the girl and the fact that she did the interview and was bringing all them into it and was saying that, they brought the you know, the side chicks and everything into it. I can't remember who I was watching that was doing the review that said they don't understand why they're just not bringing up the sit down that Arian or whatever did, and she brought everybody up and just being like, listen, your girl talked too much and she's bringing us into stuff. And I think maybe it's because they just don't want to bring her up this season. This girl said that they used her likeness her likeness, even though her face was never shown. And so I think maybe they just don't want to bring it up, but that has everything to do with it. And unfortunately, I guess she just can't say it on the show, but I think that's what she's saying. Like, listen, your girl talk too much, you talk too much, everything that comes along with you, Martell, is drama. And I agree with Kimmy. All right, then to end this scene, Maurice brings down a couple of suitcases and says he brought tickets to Miami. And she's like, really? You packed everything? Everything while you were sleeping. So that's cool. So they went from having no honeymoon in years to now they're going out of town all the time. And I ain't mad at it. All right, then we see Marceau standing outside of Black, and he's just waiting. Wanda comes, she parks any kind of way. It's a big old thing. Oh, you come late, you park any kind of way. She come out in these very colorful boots. um, and then they go back to the kitchen. She don't want to wash dishes or whatever. Her little confessional copper look is cute. She got a cute long wig on. But she's just like, if doing dishes, if it mean I gotta do dishes to get a loan from y'all, then I go elsewhere. And I'm like, girl, where else she gonna go? Where else she gonna go, Miss Wanda? And I think they always put them together because they think it's cute. They're a little back and forth, like, Martin and Pam, and, they think it's cute. I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's cute that she is constantly um, on this man and in their marriage so much. It's fine to have your daughter's back, but she crossed the line so much. Y'all know she's not a favorite of mine. But yeah, so they go into some other things that again, not her business. Oh, the blog said you were here and were you there at that time? He says, yeah. Then what happened? She's like, oh my God, what happened? And he's like, listen, wherever you got this information from, go back and get the rest of the information. And Marceau know what he be doing. I think he be doing dirt, y'all. I really do. But he know what he be doing in terms of not answering them and giving them vague answers. Lord, then we gotta listen to Stormy and that voice again, and oh God, she's talking to Melody about what happened. They talk about Tisha and the fact that Tisha shouldn't ask questions she don't want to know the answer to. So okay, fine. And then she's talking about ooh and that Destiny, and she's all mocking me, and I don't let nobody disrespect me like ever. And I'm from the country, we get down like that. So for her to stand up and all that, and you don't even know me like that, and I'm like, girl, you don't even know her like that. So why were you questioning her? Like, why were you sitting up there like, and what's going on with these, Destiny? And what does that mean, Destiny? No, ask your friend. So yeah, Destiny again was not wrong. And this girl is again sounding a mess. So Stormy is doing all that talking or whatever about how she not the one and this and that. And I'm like, girl, Destiny was not hesitant at all. So you doing all that means nothing. She'll get with you. Now, whether or not she'll win or lose or whatever, I don't know. I mean, they too grown to be doing it anyway. But again, Destiny was not hesitant. Like, she didn't look scared at all. So Melody's like, yeah, I talked to her and she, I think y'all need to have a sit down. Yeah, I'll have a sit down with her, but we need security. And she's like, you really think we need security? She does this smile. I don't know what that means, but she's like, yeah. And she's like, listen, tell her don't bring all that aggression or whatever because it's going to go exactly the same way. And I'm like, you saying that like she cares. I don't think she cares. Like, she was there with you, sis. Like, you talking to the wrong person. Maybe if it was Tiffany or somebody, you could threaten and do all that. But Destiny did not care about you getting all rah rah. She got rah rah. Actually, she got rah rah before you. All right, so now we got Miss Wanda talking to Tisha. Tisha looked like a bumblebee. Listen, she looks cute, but it's a total bumblebee outfit. She on this yellow furry vest and black long sleeve shirt up under. So Miss Wanda's telling her about this picture and it's of his back. And when she showed her the picture, y'all, her face, I don't know. She was like, "Does that look like his back?" And I don't know. She made a face. But she is going off on Miss Wanda saying, listen, it's been too long and y'all doing way too much. She's saying that she can pull up on him at any point in time and he'll be exactly where says he's going to be. And yeah, she's telling Miss Wanda that they are trying to ruin her marriage. Tisha is looking up and everything like she is aware, even though she said she had been off social media for a month and a half or whatever. I guess she saw the photo already. I don't know, but because she said she knows everything, and I don't know. I feel like she is, turning a blind eye, and if she is, that's none of our business. If that's the way she wants to have her marriage, and it really looks like maybe she is. And so her mom asked her exactly that, pretty much. She's just like, listen, do you think that you're so in love with him that you just don't want to see what's going on? And y'all, her hair is not gonna move. All this gel, like this hair is stiff, baby. And this makeup is a whole mess. But anyway, she's like, I just don't like the way he be putting me on the back burner when I ask him stuff like this or whatever, talking about he don't know what his back look like, and he don't have to answer to you. And Tisha has yet, well, I think she did say it last season or something like that, but he doesn't have to answer to you. Wanda, quit asking him all this stuff or whatever. Like, tell Tisha to ask him. It's none of your business like that. So yeah, they just came up with the fact that she does too much, but she's always done too much. And it's time for Tisha to start checking her. But it's also time for Tisha to open her eyes, unless she just don't want to. And we may have to just really, understand and come to grips with the fact that she just don't want to. And some women are like that. So they actually end that scene with the mom telling her, "Well, don't let the truth come out, because if the truth come out, I'm going off on him, and if it comes out that you knew, I'm going off on you too." And too much. Again, she just allow her to do way too much. There is definitely a way to respectfully tell your mama to mind her business. Your mom's in my business. She's in my business. Can't you see, girl? Your mom's trying to end this. Your mom's in my business. Go tell your mom to mind her business before I let go. All right, so now we have Martell meeting up with the boring, awful Whitlows or whatever their name is. And y'all, when I see her husband, I just see punk. And I did I review that one? The one where he sat across from Maurice and Marceau and they punked the entire shit out of him. Like, he is such a big punk. That's all I see. And for her, same thing. Like, she's just like, they're nobodies, and I wish we didn't have to really deal with them. That is not nice. I am trying to be nicer. But anyway, I just don't like Tiffany's energy that she's giving off in this whole scene with Martell. And y'all, Martell is on his image control. I swear to God, he is. He's sitting there with his suit on. They got on jeans, hoodies, hats, and all that, or whatever. Like, they're casual. Apparently, he has a new wine or something. So they're enjoying some wine. And she's asking him about the book signing, and she's like, well, how'd that go? You already know how it goes. And then she's like, well, I talked to Melody, and she said that they didn't show up because of a funeral. And he's looking like he's never heard that before until now. And I'm like, dude, you've heard it. Well, she didn't tell me. And like, Tiffany just has so much to say in this little segment. Yeah, it was too much. But she's like, yeah, y'all really need to communicate. And the fact that y'all don't talk and this and that. And he's like, it's not me, it's her. And I'm like, what are the chances? Really? What are the chances that it's not you too, Martell? They are both just like oil and vinegar, or vinegar and water, or vinegar, whatever it is that don't match. I don't know how they ever was together because they just don't get along at all. But Tiffany and her energy again, not agreeing with it. But then again, I just don't feel her. Period. Her or her husband. Okay, so Tiffany starts telling them about the Valentine's Day, and the way she explained it was that they got together, and then suddenly Destiny starts mocking Stormy. Like she doesn't tell anything that leads up to it or anything. I would love for somebody to just smack Tiffany dead in her face. Like just smack her because she's a I'm trying to be nice to y'all, but I don't like that. You about to blame this whole thing on Destiny? Are you kidding me? And she's like, then the girls are really going at it. So then Tiffany says, you know how everybody was saying that Mel was my bodyguard or whatever. Well, now Mel has a bodyguard and it's Stormy. And he's like, well, not for long because as soon as Mel tells Stormy no, no, I'm sorry. As soon as Stormy tell Mel no, then she's gone. And he's like, and you think you're good with her, but as soon as you tell her no, you're gone too because she likes do girls. And that I guess that's people who are just gonna do whatever she says, do or whatever. And I kind of agree with that, but I don't know that we've actually seen anyone come on the show that's just been a genuine friend to her. And I don't know it's because they're given this chance, but we know that when Destiny first was brought on, she was kind of like all on Mel's team, and she's mad at Kimmy because Mel is mad at Kimmy and this and that. And then you have Stormy who's mad at everybody who's, like I feel like perhaps, I don't know if Melody could be a good friend if somebody was just genuinely a friend that's telling her yes and no, both, but not coming on and feeling like you're indebted to her because she put you on the show or anything like that. I mean, maybe in real life she has real friends. We don't know. So, yeah, I just feel like these girls come on and feel like they have to do whatever for Mel because she's giving them this chance. So then, wrapping up this scene, we have Marceau saying how he's inviting them, I guess, to is it the wine launch or it's some kind of launch, but it's going to be in Atlanta or whatever. He's inviting all the guys. And Tiffany's like, who's all invited? Girl, you know who the guys are. What is wrong with you? What are you talking about? And so he's naming people, whatever. And she's like, you think Tisha's going to let Marceau go? Her being messy. And he's like, yeah, Tisha's going to let Marceau go. Well, we know who runs the house anyway. Again, being messy and being in people's business. She talks too much, you guys, and she's shady behind people's backs, and then she don't say nothing. Like, mum's the word in your face. Or I just don't like this girl. So anyway, that scene ends. Then to end off the whole thing, we have Tisha pulling up to Black. She calls Marceau and tells him to come outside. He comes outside. She's like, you need to get in the car. Oh, it's going to be a long conversation. She's like, yeah, with no smile whatsoever. So you know it's about to go down. And I was really hoping we would get this conversation. But nope, it'll be next week. So that's fine. All right, if you are still here, you are the real MVP. I appreciate you. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. I guess I'm about to do DC. It might be like 2 minutes, but I'm going to do it. All right. Smooches.